Hey everybody, what's going on? As you know, in our last E3 video, there was a few games we didn't actually talk about. We said we were saving for a later video, and that video is this one, where we're talking about those games and the possible next generation of consoles.
Let's talk about this.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Brandon here, along with Nathan, and today we're going to talk about something we were wanting to film last week. We just haven't had a lot of time to do it, so we finally decided to do it today. And that is the E3 announcement last week that there is a new generation of consoles coming. Now, we knew for a while, PlayStation had mentioned that Sony had mentioned that the PlayStation 4 was moving out of its end of life. It was coming to the end of its cycle, and they were going to be moving on to the next generation. And then we got more confirmation at the Microsoft press conference that Microsoft has a new generation of console supposedly coming out in either 2019 or 2020, as well as Todd Howard confirmed from Bethesda that both Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 will more than likely be next generation console games. So we're here to talk about all that, I guess.
Yeah. First of all, it seems like it's really close.
It does.
To the last set of consoles that came out. But I had actually gone back and looked, and it's the exact same amount of time from when they were saying they're going to release the next gen that it was to the previous console. So if it was like from PS3 to PS4, it's the same amount of time from PS4 to whatever they're coming out with next.
Yeah, and I think the 360 had a little bit of a longer life cycle because it came out before the PlayStation 3
It was minimal,
but it wasn't. And it does. It feels like it's been. It does not feel like it's been time for a new generation console. It doesn't at all. Especially with the PlayStation 4 Pro just releasing not too long ago. You have the Xbox One X just released. Now, those are half steps up, but they're both very powerful systems, and it's crazy. For me, it's hard to see them technologically being able to make something in the next 2 years that can really...
And that's my big thing.
That is going to be good enough, or better, so much better, that's going to make us want to go out and buy new consoles.
Yeah, and that's really my big thing for this next generation coming out here. What are they going to introduce that we haven't seen yet? We've already got VR.
Yeah.
I mean, we have basically 3D interactive menus and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, what are they going to be able to do on this next generation that we don't already have access to now?
I would like to see Sony carry over their PlayStation VR support and add more to it, because the fact that the PlayStation 4 can even run VR games, I mean, even at minimal settings, is impressive. It is. And, you know, we heard that Microsoft was going to be doing something with Oculus, and that the Xbox One was going to have Oculus support. It never happened. I mean, we've got an app on the Oculus Store that lets us play our Xbox One games via streaming, but I mean, they're not in VR. You're just like in a VR room with a big TV. So, Microsoft dropped the ball big time without introducing the VR support they promised. But, like I said, the fact that the PlayStation can run VR at all is impressive. Because, I mean, you've seen how my computer has to handle VR.
It's not easy on the system.
No, it's not. And I would like to see, hopefully, these new consoles focus somewhat on that, because I do think, I mean, you got the Oculus Go that just released not too long ago. Oculus is working on another thing that supposedly is going to have full motion tracking without the stupid sensors that we have in my living room right now. So
I think that's the way forward. I really do, because everything seems to be going that way. It's really cool stuff. So, I mean, why not focus on that? You know, when you look at all the different sci-fi movies and different nerd shows and everything, VR is where it's at. It's where everything's going, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah, the trick right now is making it cost effective, because I mean, for a PC to run VR, you don't need to have nearly as much power as they would lead you to believe you need on the box and on the website when you got to order it. That you don't need as big a powerful of a system as they lead you on to believe, but you still need a pretty impressive system to run VR. So, to making it more consumer friendly would definitely, I think, be a major ball in Sony and Microsoft's court if they can pull it off. If they can make a system, which I mean, the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro are both pretty powerful systems. The Xbox One X, I fully believe, probably could run VR if the PlayStation can. I hate to admit it, but the Xbox One X is actually a more powerful system than the PlayStation.
Yes.
I hate to admit that, but it's true. So if the PlayStation can do it, then obviously that one can too. And they really should have. I don't know why they decided not to go that route. A lot of people are wanting it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, that's the way it's going. So, it would make no sense to me for it to go in a completely new direction that hasn't already been tested.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, to me it feels very new, feels very fresh. I don't know if I feel like I'm ready for a new system. I mean, apparently I have to be now because this is my job, and I'm going to be forced to buy both new systems the day they come out, which is awesome. Hopefully Microsoft hooks us up with something, and Sony gives us a hookup. I don't think Sony will, because they don't like me very much. But
hashtag sponsor us.
Hashtag give us free stuff. Anyway, but it does. It feels very new. It feels fresh. Now, we got the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser. Literally showed us nothing.
Could have been from any of the previous games.
Yeah, but
really.
Todd Howard did say that he believes it's going to be on the next generation of consoles, which, if it can be a launch title, would definitely be a console seller.
Yes, it would. That would be huge. After the success of Skyrim.
Yes.
Oblivion did pretty good, but it was not nearly the success that Skyrim was. But now that it's really dug its way into people's homes, that's going to be major.
It's a console seller. That is. I mean, could you imagine if somebody were to lock down like early access? Like if Sony or Microsoft were to get exclusivity, even for first 3 months of release,
it'd be huge.
It'd be a definite. It'd sell consoles, and like you were talking. Starlight is another game coming out by Bethesda now. They said that is also going to be more than likely a next generation game, but they said it was coming out in 2019, which leads me to wonder. Are we looking at a 2020 release, or are they going to shock us all at E3 next year and guess what? There's a new Xbox coming out, and there's a new PlayStation coming out around, I think you said you would guesstimate it probably around Black Friday would be around
That would be my guess. That's when a lot of the big stuff that comes out, a lot of the new products, it usually comes around the big sale days, which obviously Black Friday. That would make the most sense to me, and with it being that close to E3, that would just be amazing as far as a marketing move.
It would.
Because you've got the hype for it maxed out already. Just 3 months is not really that long to wait after an announcement. So people are hyped for it.
Yeah.
They're ready to buy it, and they would.
Especially if you're like, hey, and guess what? On launch, you got Elder Scrolls 6. You got, we talked, they haven't confirmed it, but it'd be kind of stupid if Microsoft didn't do this with Halo 6 being a launch title. Now, that does bum me out to an extent because look at how many Halo games we had on the 360. We had ODST, we had Halo 3, we had Halo Reach, we had Halo 4. And essentially for Xbox One, if you don't count the Master Chief Collection, because it was just a remaster of all the older games, we got one Halo game for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
One. Halo Wars, which that's an RTS, it's not the same. One Halo game for that generation of console. And to me, that's just... I didn't like Halo 5 very much anyway, but... That kind of sucks.
A little bit. Maybe they're trying to make amends for it and actually come out with some really quality, which could be the case. I've not played a whole lot of the Halo games. It's more your style since it's Xbox, but what I have played on, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The ones that I did get to play. So it would make a lot of sense to me for them to come out with something really solid, really good, and hopefully they can actually pay homage to their really good titles.
Yes.
And come out with something that's both fun to play and fun to look at. So,
but we also talked. We were discussing last week when we were coming out. We were telling you guys some of our highlights for E3 and how I'd mentioned that E3. It seemed like, especially on Sony's side, it was a lot of the same stuff we'd seen the year before. It was more of it. Like I had a lot of people hate on me, like, well, they showed us gameplay. Yeah, but I still knew the game was coming out.
Exactly.
But me and you were talking before we even made the video last week about why that possibly was. Now, do you think that's because Sony is saving their next generation titles for
it would make a lot of sense.
Later announcement?
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. Come in here, say they announce it next year at E3. Next year, all of a sudden, they have all these massive, major titles for the next generation console to be coming out, and it's all right there in your face. I mean, hands down, Sony would win.
Yeah,
you have so much from Xbox this year already. Next year, unless they're putting a crap load of effort into coming out with some really solid new titles for next year as well, they're just going to be blown out of the water. And with it being on a release year for a new console, again, huge numbers for Sony.
It would make a lot more sense for Sony to, if they do have, those developers still, they do have, I mean, I know Microsoft did steal away some of their exclusive developers this year, which was, hopefully that pays off. We'll see. I mean, they did get Ninja Theory Studios, which they made that Senua Last Sacrifice, or Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice is what it was called. And that was really, I've only played a little bit of it, but what I did play was really good. It was really interesting. So
it looks amazing.
They managed to get that studio, and they've nabbed a couple other of the exclusive studios away from Sony now. The ones that Sony still has right now. Now you got a lot of people clamoring for crossplay.
Mhm.
They're really beating on Sony's door, wanting that crossplay. So hopefully we can see that.
That one needs to happen. It really does.
If Sony does have those exclusive developers, though, in their pocket, it would make more sense for them to use those right now. Say, don't focus on the PlayStation 4. It's getting ready to end its life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the next generation, and hopefully, we'll at least see them not do what they did with the PlayStation 3 and just pretty much abandon it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like the way they handled that. I thought it was pretty. I liked how Microsoft handled it with 360. How you were still getting 360 games for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And especially how there was a lot of games that were Xbox One games that they brought to the 360. You had Titanfall, you had Destiny. Now they phased those games out with newer content. They didn't, allow.
But they let it die naturally.
Yeah, they let it die naturally.
So.
They didn't necessarily just halt it. Now I'm hoping Sony doesn't do that with the PlayStation 4. I'm hoping they at least try to port games down from the next gen to the PlayStation 4, so people that have the PlayStation 4...
give it another year or two, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Really give people a chance to kind of ease into it. Because I know
give us a chance to mourn, Sony.
Yeah. So, dang it. But yeah, give us a chance. The next generation is going to be coming out, though. Really hyped for it. Also, not to mention just Microsoft and Sony, but what's coming from the other consoles.
Honestly, I don't know.
As well,
I did just see the commercial last week. We got a new Atari system coming out.
I've heard about that.
Yes, I'm interested in it, if only for nostalgic reasons. I grew up with the 2600. I remember when the Nintendo 64 came out, and I begged my parents, like, I need a Nintendo 64. Like, you have an Atari!
Which, practically brand new. Come on.
It actually worked really well. I still have it somewhere. It's in a box sitting somewhere. I still have it. But there's a new Atari coming out. They're supposedly going to have third-party 4K support games. I haven't seen a lot about it, but I'm interested and I want one.
Yeah.
Also, hashtag sponsor us. Give us free stuff. Atari, I will gladly test that console out.
We got you back.
But no, so we got the Atari console coming out. Steam, I don't know, Valve seems to have let Steam OS kind of die. Now, I built my Steam machine. I had Steam OS on it for a while. I ended up scrapping it and going back with Windows and just installing Steam with Big Picture mode because it had much greater support. And yeah, Steam OS really does not like conflicting video cards at all. So like you have onboard video and an actual video card doesn't work. So I don't see Steam coming out with anything. I mean, they tried their hand with the console wars with the Alienware deal. Didn't really take off. Not very well at all. So, I don't know. I don't really know if we're going to see anything. I mean, I don't think we're going to see anything out of Nintendo. I can't talk today.
Well, with the Switch having come out pretty recently.
Yes.
It's pretty soon. And I'm afraid to say that I think they might have played their hand a little too early.
What, with the Switch?
Yeah, with the Switch. It's a great console. And it's been selling really well. As a matter of fact, I think it's the #1 seller right now.
Yes.
So, but that being said, it's going to be coming out relatively soon to the next generation consoles if they come out next year.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that its sales are going to just kind of halt.
I don't think its sales are going to halt. I mean, I think it'll do pretty well, especially if they keep coming out with new games.
Well, they're
getting a lot more third-party support now. Now, the Wii U didn't have a lot of third-party support. The Wii didn't. I mean, it did, but it didn't. But the Wii did really well, even after. I mean,
well, I had something the others didn't for quite a while.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're really going to see anything else coming from any other major video game companies when it comes to console-wise. I mean, I'd love to see a Dreamcast 2. I think the Dreamcast was way ahead of its time. I'd love to see Sega get back in the race, but yeah, I'm really not thinking we're going to see anything else other than the big three for now on. So
yeah. Aside from those guys, there's nothing really much else to really combat them with. I'd actually kind of like to see a brand new company almost. I love the idea of having some of the older ones come back in again, like I said, for nostalgia reasons. But get somebody new in there, just see what else they can kind of develop. Maybe they can come up with a new format of some sort. We have VR right now.
Yeah.
We're looking for what they're going to be doing with the next generation consoles. My guess is VR. I think that's the most logical choice. But maybe they can come up with something else. It'd be kind of cool to see what, because there's some really creative people out there.
Elon Musk is going to come out of D3 next year, and he's going to be like, guess what? I've made a console.
It'd be really cool to see what he could do.
That runs at 16K. I'm like, 16K? That doesn't exist yet. I made it.
Good old Elon Musk. Yeah.
Not only did I make the console that runs the games in 16K, I made 16K thing. You have to buy my special TV along with your console.
He's gonna watch this video now. And he's gonna do it just because.
Awesome. There's a lot of things I'd like Elon Musk to do. So if he wants to hit me up. You know, I
There
got
you
some
go.
ideas I could throw at him.
Hashtag sponsor us.
Hashtag think tank. Anyway.
But I think that about does it for us, though, guys.
I think we plugged so many hashtags in this video.
So, yeah, but anyway, you know, Elon, get a hold of us. Everybody else, let us know what you're thinking. What's going on with the next generation consoles? What do you think they're going to be doing with it? Do you think it's coming out next year? What would you like to see come out on the next generation consoles? But yeah, talk to us. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff.
And if you want to make sure you know anytime we upload videos, please click that bell icon. YouTube is being terrible at not giving notifications. So click the bell icon if you want to know anytime we upload a video. But that's all the time we got for today. Now we've got to go deal with some rain. See you guys.
See ya.